Today, we are discussing rollovers for business startups, or ROBS. In short, ROBS will teach you how to use your retirement funds, tax-deferred, penalty, and debt-free. This innovative resource has become the fastest growing form of funding to help someone start, acquire, or grow a business. Two ROBS experts have created a series of comprehensive educational videos to help you become an educated and successful entrepreneur. The first, Larry Carnell, is the National Award-winning Entrepreneur of the Year, business and franchise expert, and Vice President of Benetrends Financial, the company that discovered this legal pathway in 1983. Carnell is recognized as one of the country's foremost ROBS experts and is credited with helping introduce this creative funding, wealth-building protection program. Joining Carnell is CPA Gary Bodie. Bodie holds a master's degree in accountancy and is considered a leading national expert on ROBS structures. He is also a business lecturer and contributing author on ROBS and C Corporation structures, which can help maximize your exit strategy benefits while minimizing your taxes. In addition, Bodie runs his own practice where he advises and works with entrepreneurs with ROBS structured businesses across the United States. What should one look for when choosing a ROBS provider and third-party administrator or TPA?
Well, let me start with the worst case scenario, and that will help explain why you need a really good ROBS setup provider. Again, the IRS can rescind the initial ROBS transaction, making that retroactively taxable, plus your 10% additional, they call it a fee, but it's actually a fine.
Right.
And of course, then there are interest and penalties, and as you've mentioned, sometimes there's hundreds of thousands of dollars or bankruptcy, and so really you want to be very careful in providing or finding the best ROBS setup project or setup company. It's not a do-it-yourself process. It sounds like it would be pretty easy, but it's really not. And so I would look for experience. And there's a lot of new players in the market. Some of them are good,
Right.
Some of them I don't know that much about. They may be good. There's been one that I really don't like. And it seems like, everybody's trying to jump on the bandwagon without maybe the requisite experience. I would also look for somebody, a setup provider that had a full financial platform. A lot of my clients need like an SBA loan coordination. They need somebody that can set up an independent or customize a retirement plan for the C Corporation itself. And you want somebody that will guarantee their setup if audited, not just certain things, but complete whatever the IRS comes up with. You get a complete guarantee, and there's only a few companies that I think that really do that, give 100%. And I would also ask how many of their clients have been audited, and the audit rate, which I've heard, is about 0.04% for ROBS C corporations. And I don't think that the IRS really looks at ROBS as a strange beast anymore. I think it's more mainstream. So I don't think it's an increased audit risk really to use the ROBS technique. And I'd also want to make sure that the ROBS setup provider stays current with ROBS regulations. And what I've found is that the IRS never really says what it wants. It'll tell you what they don't like, okay? Right. And you have to interpret that as what they really want. And the other thing, of course, is cost. Now, cost is relevant, but I know some lawyers that will do it for $3,200, and I've read their stuff, and I wouldn't be comfortable going in with somebody like that. They don't really provide the guarantees that a large, experienced firm like Benetrends would do, for example. You need also somebody that's going to provide support. I guess you wouldn't need to have the same provider, but somebody that really can help you administer your plan. And that's required actually by the Department of Labor, and it includes an annual business valuation. It also includes filling out Form 5500, and that, of course, there are other functions that are hidden there, like your administrator, things of that nature. Finally, I would ask what differences there are between, the different companies, because there's some things, areas where the setup providers are different. And do you have any other thoughts on that?
Well, in regards to the audit rate, there's a perception that lower is better. In actuality, it's my opinion and a lot of professionals' opinion that actually the more plans that are audited, the better, because that shows that it's been tested.
Yeah.
You don't want a company that's been doing a few of these and they've had, 5 or 6 audited. Actually, the more number of plans audited that have passed successfully is critically important, because that gives you an indication that these people know what they're doing. Again, you have to be careful about people that offer free audit guarantees. To be quite honest, a free audit is worthless unless the company has skin in the game. If someone's going to represent you, but if you're penalized, they're not going to have to pay any penalty, how good of an attorney are they actually going to hire
Right.
for you, and how committed are they going to be to getting you out of trouble?
And will they even be there when you're audited? Because a lot of these newer companies seem to me that they might be out of business pretty quick.
Well,
But the larger firms, I think, have a better chance of being there in the future. And generally, the bigger firms offer a better guarantee.
well, I think one of the things we have to understand is this is not a loan. Because it's a retirement plan, it's highly scrutinized. There's been a lot of shortcuts ever since Enron and a variety of other things that have happened. Retirement plans are highly regulated. You have to dot all your I's, cross all your T's. And it's not enough to have a third-party administrator. You have to specifically ask, what are the credentials of the people giving me advice? Are they really certified professionals? Do you have on-site CPCs, R.O.B.S, actuarials, ERISA legal counsel? This is critically important. It's the same difference. If you go and spend $200 for a CPA, you're getting professional trained services. But if you're paying $200 and in actuality you're not getting a CPA, you're getting a bookkeeper, then you may ask yourself, am I really getting what I'm paying for? And in light of the IRS alert warning and the fact that their primary concern was not just setting these plans up, but the big issue is post setup, operational compliance, that's where the concerns are. And our concern in the industry, being the pioneer of the industry, we want there to be professional experts that are providing advice, that people aren't paying hundreds or thousands of dollars, and when a question comes up, they're either giving the wrong information or they're saying, oh, you need to go to your CPA. Well, when you do that, you're paying extra money. But if you're using a full service retirement plan design firm with a complete complement of certified professionals, you should never have to go to retirement plan advice from a CPA and incur additional expenses.
I think that's an important concept that I hadn't mentioned before, is that a good ROBS setup provider provides ongoing services like, not only the valuation.
I think it's not just that you're providing evaluation services, record-keeping services, consulting services, and resources to advise your employees, because that's part of a service provided by a third-party administrator. The other thing you should always ask, are there additional costs if I have over a certain number of employees? Some companies have no charges, some companies charge things. You always have to go into a business with an exit plan in mind. And if you have a plan, nobody wants to go into a business to only make $50,000. Ideally, we'd love to have an opportunity to grow the business into multiple operations, generate hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. That means a large number of employees in many cases. So you want to have a firm that can adapt to that. The other thing that's extremely important with a C corporation is having a full service design firm that has the ability to create other types of plans. C corporations, as we both know, have potential for double taxation. And if you don't have the ability to customize plans, adapt plans, create plans that will help you protect more profits, you can expose yourself to the risk of double taxation. So that's critically important as well. Now, ROBS 4, we're going to talk about specifically the pros and cons of a C corporation.
Okay.